I think actually, Harry, that may be one of the worst analogies I've ever heard in my whole entire life.
I'm full of them, baby. I'm full of them. Cheese, lasers, robots.
Yeah.
Everything. Off Scotty Parker.
We've got Marco Silva.
He's a genius. He's a genius. Cannot stand the bloke. As simple as that. And probably walks in there and goes, "Let's win our soccer game, dude. Shut up."
I'm Will Pugh.
And I'm Izzy Barker, and this is SunSport's Tap In. We are all about the fans on the Tap In.
And with us this week is a Fulham fan with his own YouTube channel, and he appears on a podcast with more than 30,000 followers, which I am pretty sure is more people than actually support Fulham in the entire world. We have reminded him that he's allowed to make noise and create an atmosphere here in the Tap In studio, unlike he's able to do at Craven Cottage. It is Harry Durham from Fulham-ish!
Come on, then. Come on.
What is the point?
What in the Space Jam is going on?
I don't understand what point VAR has.
It's not real, mate. It's not real. It's an amusement park. It's not real.
I don't understand what point a referee in the Premier League has when there are blatant red cards and it's not happening.
Look, Harry, it's absolutely brilliant to have you on the show with us. The atmosphere in the studio is already better than it is at Craven Cottage most weeks. I will grant you that.
It's not
but
hard.
to be honest, right, this does feel like a little bit of an Izzy Barker-inspired gang-up. Because you two are both Fulham fans. I was told when I pitched to have some hammers in the studio, I was told, no, mate, that's far too many West Ham fans in one place at the same time.
It's because we're smuggling cheese boards, Victoria sponges into grounds, while other fans are smuggling in maybe illegal substances, fireworks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is fair to say that Fulham and West Ham fans are a slightly different breed.
I wouldn't have it any other way, though. Like, people rip us for being on a train up to the northeast or whatever, having a cheese board, all a different selection, your Waitrose meal deal. That tastes good. Like, I don't understand the hatred behind this.
You know what the funny thing was, right? I said to myself before, I was like, look, Fulham fan coming on, everyone's going to be expecting, like, the posh stereotypes, all of that stuff. We're not going to do it. But it was quite funny when I said to the guys in the studio yesterday when we were planning the show, and I was like, remember the cheese board thing on the way to an away game on the train? And the tweet popped up on a picture, you can see it there, and he went, oh, it's not even Philadelphia, it's Boursan.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Boursan is great as well. If you have it on toast, absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, and you know, kind of gets a bad rep for that sort of thing. But when we look at things like that, that's what makes our club so special,
class.
Isn't it?
It's absolutely unbelievable. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so glad that I don't support a top 4 or top 6 club. Because
West Ham, you mean?
what it means to us and what it means to be a Fulham fan is when you go on runs like in the Carabao Cup and coming up against Liverpool in the semi-final and that massive second leg that we've got coming up, it just makes it feel that much more special because we haven't been to, a domestic semi-final since 2002. And if you're getting it sort of like every single week, not every single week, that would be mental, wouldn't it? Every single year, I think the spark sort of dies a little bit. But if we're getting there sort of like if we can, like, from now...
Once every 2 decades.
More than once every 2 decades. Once every 5 years, I'll be happy.
Now, listen, mate, we've got to talk a little bit more about topical football issues of the day outside of Fulham, because believe it or not, there is stuff going on outside of the London bubble. One thing that's sort of linked to your club is all of the stuff that's going on in Saudi Arabia, of course. The Fulham link being that Alexander Mitrovic, your beloved and now hated, I'm not sure, left for a £45 million deal, 400 grand a week wages to Al Hilal. There's suggestions this week that Roberto Firmino and Benzema might be going to Chelsea. You've got Jordan Henderson desperate to get out of Al Ettifaq after just 6 months. And as you can see there, European sides, Ajax and Juventus are after him. Willian, your very own Willian, snubbed a move to Al Shabab to sign a new deal last summer. So I guess, what do you sort of make of the whole Saudi situation? It's just money thrown at it, but you've got Fulham links as well.
These lot are absolute jobs worths. Genuine. Mitro, and I think Izzy will agree with me, I put Mitro right at the very top on the Fulham Mount Rushmore. Putting there with Kearney, more names as well. But to go there for money when he was 28, and you see Henderson now, who obviously stood up for the LGBTQ plus community as well, and then has now turned around, he's got his big paycheck and he's just like, I actually don't like it. What, the sun too much for you, Jordan? Oh, you poor man. Oh, I want to help generations of my family. You're making about 250 grand a week in the Premier League. Is that not going to help extra generations? I love that they're hating.
Yeah, I
it.
think
love
they're
it.
sort of slightly thinking, Mitro, having seen Fulham just beat Arsenal and that sort of thing on a cup run.
I think, Al Hilal are top of the Saudi Pro League, and I think he scored like 17 and 15. It's something around that mark as well. But what satisfaction you getting? Like, you're seeing photos of, is it Al Ettifaq or Al Ittihad where Henderson is? There were pictures. There were pictures of the stadium, and there was about 900 people in there.
Another thing that has kind of been affecting Fulham massively this season and caused Marco Silva a lot of aggro is VAR. In the Sun, we went with a great headline, Tom Payne in the Vars. Obviously, looking at that Chelsea-Fulham 1-0 defeat, we're in the West London derby, Malo Gusto, many of the pundits, everyone thinking that it should have been a red card for what I think was a pretty rash and reckless challenge on Willian.
I'm so passionate about this. There is no consistency. Joe Cole at half-time with Peter Crouch was like, what did he say? And I spoke about this on my YouTube. He went, you can't send him off because it's destroying the flow of the game. And I was like, Joe,
that's not how it works.
I was like, literally, have you got a Chelsea shirt on under your suit? Is that what it is? Micah Richards on Match of the Day. Glenn Murray as well. And I know these people have played the game, but it's clear and obvious. I know he was a bit off balance, but someone said, I think Micah said, it's reckless, but it's not dangerous. What does that mean? Seriously, what does reckless and not dangerous mean? He should be on a 3-match ban. He could have been out for a month.
Yeah, I think
it's ridiculous.
When most football fans are looking at that challenge on the weekend and sort of take away that it's Fulham for a second, and you mentioned the Curtis Jones, was that Liverpool against Tottenham, I think, that one? But most football fans are looking at that, who watch Premier League football, just normal fans, and I'm talking not paid professional officials who are paid a decent whack to watch all the Premier League games and know the laws and adjudicate accordingly. Most football fans watch that and go, oh, well, but while they're VAR checking it, they go, Curtis Jones at Liverpool, Christian Romero against Chelsea, that's going to be a red, definitely. Literally. And then it's not. That's what infuriates people, even fans who aren't interested in that particular game. I'm not particularly interested in it, but you look at that and go, but why is that not a red card as well? It's ridiculous.
A list. The VAR has a longer list than a Father Christmas naughty list every year. Genuine.
I've got no idea
that long.
Means.
And you mentioned obviously the Liverpool.
I think actually, Harry, that may be one of the worst analogies I've ever heard in my whole entire life.
I'm full of them, baby. I'm full of them.
So you wouldn't just quickly before we move on then, VAR, are you broadly for or against? Scrap or keep?
So tough.
If someone said to you, right, Harold Webb comes up to you and goes, Harry, look, I've seen you on a tap-in. It's the end of the season. It's the end of the season. And look, you were right, okay?
Yeah.
It is a bit of a shambles. Fulham were completely hard done by at Chelsea. If you want, I'll scrap VAR totally and go back to how it was before when Man United would get 98% of decisions under the sun at Old Trafford and Liverpool would get away with offsides by 6 yards at London Stadium, just as an example. Would you scrap or keep?
I'd keep it but change it.
Keep but improve.
And I'd like to think that offsides, because I hate it when they draw that line, that Aston Villa-Everton or Everton-Aston Villa the other day, 3 minutes and 54 seconds or something ridiculous, mate.
Yeah, it's used the robo-offsides like that, but I think
that's what I was about to get to. Yeah. Is there not... I'm not like a big advocate for AI or robots or anything like that. Can we not get...
Got a robo-camera.
We've got robo-cameras here. This is the first time I've ever seen it. My mind's blown. Can we not get, like... Say, like, this camera, like a robo-camera, going across, so it, like, lasers... This is so conspiracy theory sort of nonsense.
It doesn't feel like there's too much science behind this, mate.
Yeah, this is going to be me on, like, Joe Rogan trying to, like... Crazy conspiracies on Joe Rogan. I reckon, like, if you got some, like, AI sort of situation, so it could just do it instantly, but then you go in...
No, that is coming in. To be fair to them, that's coming in. We've seen him in the UEFA FIFA competition.
True.
That is coming in very shortly.
I don't know how long we are into the show, but we've already spoken about cheese and lasers and...
Cheese, lasers, robots.
Robots, yeah. yeah.
everything.
Let's
Everything's going to
talk
get
about
covered.
something a bit more positive. The main man at Fulham, Marco Silva. It feels like, you know, the feel-good factor is back at the club, like the days under Roy Hodgson and things like that, and we're our closest to ever getting our hands on a major trophy. Yeah, are you involved in the chant, the genius chant? We can't sing it in the studio now because it does have swearing in it.
Off Scotty Parker. We've got Marco Silva. He's a genius. He's a genius. So, Scotty Parker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him.
You were tapping your toes
I
there.
was tapping my toe.
I love him.
To life.
But yeah, sum up in 20 seconds. If
20
you can.
seconds?
Yeah,
Is that all I've
Your
got?
thoughts on Marco Silva?
Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
I love him more than any person in my family, and I love my family a lot. He's going to take us to a trophy, if that's the FA Cup, if that's the Europa Conference League trophy. I would have him as my best man, and I would let him do the eulogy at my funeral if I dropped dead today.
I feel like you did add in that he could definitely be on the front cover of GQ, and I feel like that might
He's
be
good-looking lad,
the
isn't he?
hiring policy at Fulham. That just could be on the front cover of GQ magazine.
I'm assuming that's since the Roy Hodgson appointment.
Yeah. I mean, Jokanovic, Scotty Parker, Marco Silva.
Yeah, like,
What, looks-wise?
dishy
just
managers
general-
are us.
Oh, Scott Parker's a fraud.
Suaveness.
It's
Yeah, he wore a little turtleneck and blazer. It was all right.
Mate, after the roaring success, right, of last week's, any of you watching at home will know that the section we had last week, the title was superbly named by the overpaid geniuses, the creative minds behind the tap-in. So strap yourself in and get ready for On the Marco or Silly Season.
I love it.
Okay, what silly season.
Where would you rank that is in the
Top.
list of terrible, I mean, really clever names that we've thought of for
It's
this section
brilliant.
so far?
Ooz's class, just like our club.
Okay,
Fantastic.
this section is quite simple, Harry. We're going to give you 4 items of like general Fulham takes. All you have to do is tell us whether they are on the Marco, if you agree, or it's a silly season
Or
take.
it's a silly season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1, Joao Palhinha, for his move to Bayern Munich on deadline day, fell through in the summer because Fulham could not find a replacement. He'd had a medical in Germany, and recently he's come out and said he'll surely leave one day, which I didn't really like. Bayern have come across, Andy Dillon, our West London correspondent, has exclusively revealed that Bayern offered £10 million this month, less than they did in the summer when that move fell through. Arsenal have been loosely linked. He is, of course, a poor man's Declan Rice, but the take is
Ouch.
Fulham should have got rid of Joao Palhinha in the summer when they had the chance, as he's clearly not fully committed to the club and is counting down the days until he can leave. Is that on the Marco?
Who wrote that?
Or silly
Who wrote
season?
it? Someone upstairs write that.
I can't.
You need to watch some more match of it. You wrote that? Oh, you're a disgrace if you did. I can't believe I'm about to lose my head at this. He is easily, without a doubt, in the top 4 best set of defensive midfielders on planet Earth. I only put Rodri, Joshua Kimmich and Declan Rice ahead of him. Simple as that. He has not lost his mojo whatsoever. He is. I can't even describe the guy in words without probably swearing. He's an absolute tank in that midfield. I think he's already recorded something like 77 tackles and is 34 ahead
About
of
1,000
the next
yellow
person.
cards as well.
1,000
We'll
yellow
brush
cards.
over that.
He wears that Fulham crest on his heart, mate. This club, no matter who he plays for, it means the world to him. And the guy has only been at Fulham for 18 months and...
he already wants to leave.
It's Florian
desperate to get out.
Plattenberg was saying how we disrespected Bayern Munich. But what Florian's got to remember is a transfer is a agreement and it's a transactional thing. You can't just go into an off licence and pick up 4 cans and leave. You have to pay for them if you want them. The fact that he's staying, love it.
Right. We've obviously got a lot of celebrity fans at the club.
Course.
Some incredible icons have been pictured in Fulham gear, like Margot, Robbie, Joaquin Phoenix smoking a fag when he won his Oscar in a Fulham scarf.
I've never seen that.
Yep.
Yeah. Great picture.
Even the Pope at one point was said.
Pope
John Paul II is also said to be a fan. We won't touch on the Michael Jackson statue either. We'll brush past that one. But
I didn't expect the Pope.
Have you know, what is that about?
What?
I think you called
Where we going, boys?
true.
Oh yeah, Vatican away.
Yeah. Vatican City away, yeah.
honestly, it's true. Read it up. It's like my mum's weird bit of trivia that she told me. And lo and behold, I looked it up and it's true.
But hang on, sorry. We looked it up. It's hardly like John Paul II in a Steed Malbranque shirt or whatever.
It's weird because I did go to Rome last year. When I went into the Vatican, I did not see any Fulham banners.
No
Weird.
posters or anything.
Weird.
No. He does wear all white quite a lot, doesn't he, to be fair?
Yeah.
But seriously,
That must be it,
Come on,
surely.
whites.
is there anything behind that, or is it just like, because Barack Obama officially supports West Ham, as we all know, which that's fact. But is there anything behind the Pope thing, or just?
To be honest, my mum told me at one time. I looked up and there was a few articles about it. I can't remember the reason why.
Written by your mum.
Latifah Dean, my mum.
Hugh Grant really upset me a couple of years ago. I was going for a walk in Battersea Park.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant walking towards me.
Yeah.
Obviously a massive Fulham fan.
That's where the story ends.
I love About a Boy, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, a good
Love Actually.
Love Actually,
Love Actually.
a good Hugh Grant flick. And I said to him, Hugh, I'm a massive Fulham fan, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I could get a picture, please. And he just went, no. And then just walked on, and it sort of destroyed it a little bit for me.
The take is Fulham have as many celebrities, go and watch them because it's fashionable, as they do real fans.
That's silly. I sing, obviously, but the jumping up and bouncing and stuff like that, I get a bad back. So
For God's sake.
I've got to take these things into consideration. I'm getting into my late 20s now. I'm on the larger side of life at the moment, and I just can't take any risks anymore.
Honestly, I genuinely thought, we'll have a Fulham guest on, and we'll get someone in who's going to break down the stereotypes and give us an alternative. What it's really like supporting Fulham. If anything, mate, you've just made them all worse. Look, number 3, right? It's $3,000 for a season ticket in the new Riverside stand at Craven Cottage. The neutral zone you had, where home and away, or just people, again, like I said, are just there for the day out, could sit together, has only recently been scrapped. And Vice Chairman Tony Khan told fans after a 2019 defeat to Burnley to go to hell. So the take is the Khan family are the most out-of-touch owners in the Premier League. On the mark, old silly season.
On the mark. Absolutely. I hate them.
I mean, you're going to have to elaborate. You can't just say, I hate them and
cannot
shrug.
stand the bloke. As simple as that. A bloke that is a director of football yet knows nothing about the beautiful game. Probably walks in there and goes, "Let's win our soccer game, dude. Shut up."
Focus on the defence.
Is he French? Yeah.
Yeah, that was my attempt of American
No, I
accent.
remember when we kept getting relegated. And, in like a lot of American sports, it's not actually relegation.
Yeah.
We were like, Tony, you do realise we can get relegated in this country.
We go down,
Yeah.
we finish bottom.
What was it when
No,
it
we
was
don't. We get a first-round draft pick.
What was it?
Mexican.
Yeah. Todd Bowley, when he was like, Chelsea are always in the Champions League. It's like, Todd, you finished 10th. It doesn't happen like that. You don't just get it off merit.
Are we just going to have an American accent now?
Yeah, we need to stop.
But no, he's so out of touch. It's unbelievable. Tony is.
Or the Khan family was the take.
Yeah,
I think
but I think it is majority Tony. I can't understand someone who doesn't have a footballing brain being our director of
It
football.
does seem like the success recently with Marco Silva is because of Marco Silva. You know, he's got great connections with the likes of Palhinha. He enticed him to come over. Pereira, Leno, all these players signing new deals seems to be down to Marco Silva and not Tony
Marco
Khan.
eventually is going to get fed up because he said exactly what we needed to get to the next level, yet he's not being funded. I don't know if this comes into play with FFP, and Fulham have checked the books, and they can't spend a lot of money, say, in the summer and January. Now, Marco even said last week that he doesn't expect anyone to be coming into
Most
Fulham.
clubs are in that sort of situation.
But yeah, I think every
Yeah.
sort of club is being careful at the moment.
Golden oldie kind of theme at Fulham at the minute. Obviously, I touched on the players that Silva's kind of worked with and got the best out of. You look at Jimenez, Kearney, Ream, Decordova-Reid, Willian, Leno. Amazing players. Marco's got the best out of them, but they are all over 30, integral members of the starting 11. You have, look at our transfer policy and you see a player like Matic is also being linked.
Yeah.
But the take is that Silva's approach is far too short-sighted and will result in relegation sooner rather than later.
I think that's win, to be honest with you. Like,
Come
That
on,
wasn't
mate.
one of the options.
Remember the titles at least.
it's gone.
On the Marco or silly season.
On the Marco.
Someone's paid about 100 grand a year out there to think of these.
Win.
On the Marco, there's only so far that you can definitely go with this situation. If we don't sign more reinforcements in the summer...
Younger as well.
Obviously, we've got Luke DeFugerall coming through the academy, who in pre-season impressed everyone. It's like 17, 18. But then you look around the pitch as well, you forget that Raul Jimenez is like 32.
Yeah.
He's
Is he going to get back to the player that he was before the injury? Two sides are looking at it.
5 goals this season, I believe. He's definitely gotten his confidence and his mojo back a little bit. But I think we probably will be found out unless we rejuvenate the squad in the summer, bring in some fresh legs.
So that was more
on the Marco.
On the Marco, yeah. If we stick with what we've got and we've just got sort of like a 42-year-old Tim Ream running about, probably we'll get relegated after a while, to be honest with you. So I think we just need a fresh injection.
Love it.
So it is 2-2 with On the Marco and Silly Season. So just looking at the rest of the season, how are you feeling? Sum it up in 30 seconds.
30 seconds, that all the time that we have. 30 seconds, 30
My
seconds,
watch is broke.
This man digresses a lot. We need the timers.
The league is over, the league is done, we're not getting relegated. We're probably going to finish about 13th or 14th where we are right now. The only thing that I care about right this second is the League Cup. The FA Cup, we've got Newcastle, it's a joke, it's £40 a ticket, I'm not going, none of us are going, we don't care. Liverpool next week, semi-final, second leg, 2-1 down. That is the most important thing. The thing that I want for this season is next month we go to Wembley, Chelsea beat Borough, and then we beat Chelsea at Wembley. Yeah. Simple as that. Bosh.
It's written in the stars. Right, before we go, we've designed an ingenious little challenge in partnership with Muck Delivery to sort the week from the chaff among our guests and find out who are the real goats of the fan networks. Fancy it, Harry?
Yeah. I consider myself
well obvious you said no. Because you're doing it.
Isn't that so weird? My imaginary watch has said that I've got a meeting.
Yeah, well, you got no choice. So yeah, that's right. This is the perfect delivery from our faves, McDonald's.
Right, Harry, in front of you is a large bag of deflated size 3 footballs, and if you haven't noticed already, a comically small hand pump to blow them up with. Quite a simple challenge, really. You get 5 points for each ball you pump up. You've got 45 seconds to pump up as many as you can, but whilst you're pumping, you have to give us as many answers as possible to the question that Izzy will ask you on the starting whistle, okay? One question, it's got loads of answers to it.
And you get points for the question answer as
well.
You
get 1 point for every correct answer, 5 points for every ball you pump up.
I didn't have my asthma inhaler before this, but I think...
hang on, the lawyers are on. Yeah, apparently we can't do this
anymore. Your risk assessments.
Yeah. The scores you've got to beat should pop up on that leaderboard any minute. The deluded Gooner, Tottenham fan Chris Cowlin, and of course the lads last week from Chelsea Fan TV. So Spurs.
22.5. Did he get half the ball?
Don't call that up. All that happened is we were doing it for 90 seconds at first. It was too long, so we cut it in half, and we had to cut all the scores in half as well. Izzy, you ready with your question?
Where's the
Born ready.
Harry, are you ready?
I'm born ready.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Right. Name as many of the 40 top-scoring defenders in Premier League history.
John Terry.
Just shout them out.
Yeah, we don't.
Keep
Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand, Ashley Cole.
Yeah, that's good. That ball's good. Next.
Move on to the next one.
Next ball.
Next one.
Next ball.
Oh, next ball.
17, 18 seconds gone. There we go. Come on, Harry. Keep going.
Yeah, come on, Harry.
Keep shouting the players.
Yes.
I said as many as I get.
Yes.
I can't remember any players of all time now.
Defenders.
Any Premier League defenders.
Steve Bruce. I think I've broken it.
Just keep shouting.
Going.
Just keep shouting. 10 seconds to go.
Is it pumping?
Sure.
What's going on? I can't think of any defenders.
5.
Tony Adams.
Yeah.
3,
Tony Adams.
2, 1.
I absolutely
Some of the big names that you missed. The top 3, John Terry, which you got, David Unsworth, Leighton Baines, Gary Cahill, Ashley Cole, Glenn Johnson.
Said Ashley Cole.
You got Vidic, Phil Jagielka, Ugo Egiog. Harry, very respectable effort there, I'd say, mate. You've got 2 pumped up balls, 5 points each for those, which is 10. The gallery tell me you got 3 answers correct. So it gives you a grand total of 13 points.
13!
13 points, which puts you in 3rd position, above Tottenham, which is always important. And
Sorry
if
to be
no
that
one else
obnoxious.
overtakes you this season, you'll get yourself a bronze medal. So a respectable effort.
Sorry
indeed.
to react that loudly. I just did not expect that. I thought I was absolutely pathetic.
Bit of an emotional moment for you.
Yeah, I've never won anything in my life.
Thank you to the excellent Harry Durham from Fulhamish.
Thank you so much for joining us, Harry, and thanks to you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.